Welcome back to another trading journal entry. Today is September 5th, 2025, and we are on New York session. It is currently 9:25 a.m. I am going to mention right here really quick that I did take my trade around 7:05 a.m. Let me check. Hold on. Yeah, 7:08 a.m. Okay, so yeah, I basically took my trade at 7 a.m. and it's been like 2 hours since then. Before we continue this, I do want to say that cause I got stuck at work, not because they had me do anything, because my supervisor fell asleep at home. He was working from home this whole week, and he fell asleep there. You know, nobody really cares. You know, we're night shift. We're cool. So, hey, we got extra pay. That's all that matters. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. So, I just got home like 20 minutes ago. It took me a while to write up my trading journal entry note here. But yeah. And then before we continue on, I did do what I said I was gonna do yesterday, which was you know, figure out how SMT really works. I mean, basically, like, I didn't get all my questions. I didn't get all my questions answered, which was like, well, I have a list here, but I mainly focused on SMT because, I mean, that's one of the biggest things I need to focus on. I mean, that's literally one of my main confluences, especially for, I mean, one of my first steps, like key level tap. And then right after that, after a key level gets tapped, I have to, one of those steps are SMT. So we got breaker structure, SMT, inverse fair value gap. So that's a pretty big deal. So I mainly focused on that, which was tonight, I guess. I really need to get, you know what? I'm on night shift. So for me, it's going to be during the afternoon. You know, nighttime is, you know what, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I did it tonight on my own time. And I do have a better understanding of it now. I literally have notes right here. I did finally start writing. I do have a second notebook. I don't know if I ever mentioned, but I did finally start writing in this notebook. And pretty happy today for figuring that out. So let's get into the trade. And yeah, let me set this up here. Oh, I didn't know I could do this. Okay, this is kind of nice. Why did I just do this? Okay, I don't have to look over here anymore. Let's move that over there. Okay. That's the wrong tab, my boy. Why is this kind of like pointing right? Am I tripping? Anyway. All right, so today's trade journal entry is going to be on September 5th, 2025. New York session as always. This is going to be the 25th trade out of 175 remaining. Today's result was one win, one contract. Let's go. You can't stop the kid, man. I know you doubters was really hoping I would lose my first week. Come on, bro. You know who I am? I literally give you a little alley-oop, okay? I try to get y'all, I basically try to become the stock market right now by itself. I give you a little alley-oop. Okay? Last night, or yesterday, okay? Yesterday, I was having trouble. I was really frustrated. This whole week, actually, I was really frustrated. Of course, I maintain my composure during these trades. That's the whole point of this. But afterwards, the after effects. But this whole week has been really harsh, you know, just emotionally, mentally, and just mindset wise, full of, you know, being too much of delusions. You know, you could be delusional, but the way I was being delusional this week was over the top, to the point where I was starting to floating, and it's better to stay grounded, especially right now where I'm at. And yeah, tonight I definitely pulled myself back down from the air, okay, and pat myself on the shoulder and said, hey buddy, lock in or you're about to clock out. So yeah, yesterday was horrible. Definitely one of the hardest, you know, trading days we've had so far. I mean, even though we won and whatnot, again, like I said yesterday, I was just very upset with the trade. It was bullish if I had stayed patient, basically, and recognized the bullish SMT from pre-market. I would have basically went a bullish bias and had a really good trade set up, and it would all make sense. But then I ended up scalping instead, a bearish setup. I went short on a scalp, which I'm not a scalper, okay? Anyway, so let's just get right into it. Today's result was one win, one contract, P&L of $875. We officially, let's see, Tuesday was like 1900 or something, a little crazy. Again, like I said, this whole week has been crazy. Poor risk management, impatience, you know, problems with recognizing like my own confluences within my own setup and strategy, frustration, being too emotional and whatnot, even after trades. I mean, just a very bad week in general, but we ended the week off very strong. I mean, oh man, when I say like, even though we don't lose like this, like we didn't lose at all this week, but the flaws are showing, and that's good. That's what I want. That's the whole point of this. That's why I want this assessment. That's why I started this. Instead of just going into some combine and doing this and that and this and that, who knows what I would have done if I saw real money and do this and do that, you know? Who knows? I might have actually lost, because seeing real money move like that, I would trip out. I'd be like, Oh yeah, I also back tested using what I learned from SMT last night, and that's how I knew it worked. So I was like, I bet. Say less. Say less. It worked. That's all I needed to know. Got 2 winning trades on a short. I'm not gonna post it though. It doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get into this. Today's risk reward ratio kept it cool, 1.8. I don't know why 1.8. It was gonna be like 1.2 or something like that, and I was like, does that make sense? I don't know. Okay, but it's better than like risking 3. But anyway, bias was bearish today. NFP news at 5:30 a.m. created a strong bullish wick that tapped into a 1-hour bullish fair value gap and a liquidity zone before rejecting at a bullish order block. Price rallied and closed bullish, but remained inside a 4-hour bearish inverse fair value gap. The 4-hour zone capped upside, and S&P followed, signaling weakness. Market structure shifted bearish with breaker structure to the downside, confirming a short bias. Here's my setup. 5:30 a.m. news candle wicked into a 1-hour bullish fair value gap plus a liquidity zone, then closed bullish. Consolidation under 4-hour bearish inverse fair value gap created multiple bearish inverse fair value gaps and rejection. A bearish SMT confirmed weakness. S&P swept highs and formed a higher high, while NASDAQ failed to do the same. It made the attempt, but it was too weak. I guess the erection rod was not working, Grandpa. Anyway, breaker structure to the downside confirmed bearish structure with candle close under the 50% mark of the 50 under the 50% mark of the 5:30 a.m. candle. 1 minute pullback to inverse fair value gap gave precise entry opportunity. I'm gonna read you this whole thing. We'll just get into it. I have all the markings, trust me. Entry there, you just have to check description for price ranges on where I entered. TP above 1-hour bullish fair value gap wick. Stop loss above 1-hour key level for invalidation. Execution entered short after breaker structure and retest of 1 minute inverse fair value gap. Confident setup and multiple confluences. What I did well today. I'll get into this afterwards. Okay, so let's close that now. And then open this. We can switch this to that. All right, so we're on the 5-minute time frame here, and we're on NASDAQ, as you can see, 5-minute time frame, yada, yada, yada. And the first thing you're going to notice is, what did I change? What did I change? What do you notice that has changed so much compared to previous videos from last month and this week alone? I'll give you a hint. Ready? There's less of it. there's less markings. Okay. Oh, why is there less markings? Well, why, Kay? Well, I am half slow in the brain apparently. So if I hop onto the 1 hour time frame, you can see these lines. These are session breaks. I haven't been utilizing them. I had it set up like this. So my session break was at 10%. So I never really noticed it unless I looked hard enough and cared enough, you know, and realized I could just use my session breaks instead of guessing. But yeah, so in my purple notebook, I was able to, you know, I figured out some things tonight, trust me, not just SMT. So I'm basically utilizing, you know, this at its full potential now. I mean, if I go to this, you can see where I put my markings on certain times within the session breaks, and I made sure I understood where the session breaks were, which session it was, and I marked it out and where it was relevant, you know, besides some you can tell. But anyway, just wanted to mark that out, so that helped a lot. I wasn't confused or anything. I wasn't like all over the place. I knew what I was looking at and all that. Even though it still looks a little busy, it's definitely better than what we've had for the past month now. So I'm kind of happy with this, you know. Yeah, anyway, so let's just get into it, man. So as you can see, we have the 5 a.m. mark, 5:30 mark, 6:30, and then so on and so forth. So at 5:30, you can see what I mentioned during my trade journal entry note. We wicked into the zone, bullish order block, and then the liquidity zone, 1 hour bullish fair value gap, long wick, right? And then we got candle closure into this right here, 4 hour bearish inverse fair value gap, right? Also, all of the other zones, right? We got this 1 hour, this 4 hour, this right here, this 1 hour, and then we moved upward, right? We also had a bearish fair value gap. So anyway, all of this doesn't matter, or this doesn't matter, but this does. So we moved up, and I'll just go in by detail because as you can see, I have all the things marked out and what you guys need to understand and see where I'm coming from, so we're not all lost. So all this was previously, you know, bullish fair value gaps. When it got near this area, as you can see, it was so close, but just not close enough. So I was hoping that we, you know, broke above this, then we could be bullish, I guess. But S&P created an all-time high, so I couldn't really go off of anything for S&P. I kind of just had to hope something happened. But what I did notice that since S&P created an all-time high, NASDAQ couldn't do the same, because I mean, if you hop over to the 4 hour, see, you got this in the back. So that's not the real reason on what I went off of. So let's just get into it and stop stalling. So anyway, really waited here. I had to wait for either respect on this 4 hour bearish inverse fair value gap. So if price went above it and gave candle closure, then that would tell me that price action wants to keep going bullish. And from my experience now for the past month, I know that if price starts consolidating long enough within a inverse fair value gap or a fair value gap or even order block or breaker blocks, that tells me that is most likely gonna be disrespected. Like that entire zone is most likely gonna get disrespected. Just depends. You need context. So I had my context. I mean, look, I had a bearish SMT. So like I mentioned, bearish SMT, S&P sweeps highs and creates higher high. We got candle closure right here from all above these other candles. And then we even wicked past it. So we create this higher high, right? But NASDAQ fails to do that. We literally tried, but we couldn't. So we closed all the way down here. So after that, we formed a bearish order block, which I already noted, but we closed down, right? And then we got rejection from this 4 hour bearish inverse fair value gap, and then bearish order block, all that. So we're basically getting a lot of bearish bias, continuation, confirmation, all of that, just all at once. Of course, this was very slow. It took time. We're on the 5 minute time frame. I was switching back and forth like crazy still. Don't worry. I was doing my best here. I was really hoping we were going up today. I don't know why, but it kind of made sense. I mean, all-time high and then all that. And then News was kind of ass, but whatever. Anyway, but yeah, so we get these long wicks to the downside. Same on S&P here. We literally disrespect and get candle closure, break a structure, and candle closure on the pre-market engulfing candle 50% mark. All right here, all on this candle, all on this move down, which told me everything I needed to know. I was on the 1 minute time frame by now because I had 4 of these tabs open, 2 for NASDAQ and then 2 for S&P. So you can tell I really love today's trade. I'm really happy with today's trade, man. Like I know every detail down to the bottom bits because, again, like today's trade was amazing. I don't know if I'm lagging or not because I'm using like 30% of my CPU, but if I am, I'm sorry. Anyway, so here's a more like lower time frame description and all that. You can see everything. You can see where I entered and all that. This green circle is where I entered, and then you can see this, my P&L or whatever, or my risk reward ratio. This is what I use the long position for. And then you can see where I put my TP. You can see where I put my SL, all that. And then you could, hold on, I'll reset this. Give me a second. You can see where we ended up going. So we literally, there was a massive imbalance. Look, I'll switch to the, I think it was 1 hour. Give me a second. I think it was the 1 hour. No, it was the 4 hour. Yeah, it was the 4 hour. So you can see on the 4 hour and the 1 hour that we have this massive imbalance of bullish, just bullish inverse and fair value gaps. Like just literally a massive imbalance of it. Like look at all this, dude. And if we hop over to like 30 minutes, you can see price has barely closed above it. So I'm thinking like, now look at all this, but it's not on the higher time frames of 1 hour and 4 hour. Oh, it is. Just not on the 4 hour. It's only on the 1 hour. Oh man, whoever's trading now, good luck, dude. But I got my win. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Oh yeah, I would have put, you know, if it was a real trade on like, you know, on a funded account, I would definitely put my TP all the way right here, dude. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I knew it was gonna go. No, I'm gonna be honest here. If I was to be on an XFA and I was gonna take this trade, I would put it at like, I think, dude, I can't see. Can we hop over to like the 5 minute? Oh my God, the lag is insane, bro. What did I just do? Don't create no alert. Come on. How is this showing me it's delayed? How am I ahead of myself? Whatever. Anyway, so if I was to take this trade, I put my, okay, yeah, dude, I'm just clicking shit. I'm sorry. I'm literally just clicking shit. I'm starting to get upset because it's so slow. Okay. Anyway, if I was to take this trade, I'm going to be honest right now, because this is a little scary. This is a lot of risk. I mean, you could be risking a shit ton here, right? There's no way anybody knows it's going to go down. And if there's a way to know it's going to go all the way down here and sit here, like literally tap it. Look how it got candle closure on that. If anybody knew, or if there's a way to know it's going to go all the way down here, I would love to learn that. Anyway, the truth is, if I was to get an XFA and all that, and this was a real trade, I would put my TP on this line right here, because we previously went into this bullish order block, right? Literally a full retrace, or just a full tap into it, whether we traced into it or not, but we went into it. That's all that matters, and we respected it. We have so much bearish confluence. There was a shit, and I mean a shit ton of imbalance in this area, and it was literally getting in like respected. I would have put it right here on this 4 hour time frame. You can see it go all the way down. I'm not gonna say, oh, put it here, I'll put it here. I think if I put it right here, if I were to put it right here on an XFA, the full TP would have been 3,000 or something like that. I think so. I don't know. If I enter right here and I go all the way down here, I think that's 3,000, because that's a pretty big move. That's 100 ticks almost. Because if you look right here, 718 and then 803, That's like a 90 or 80 something tick move. So that's a couple thousands for sure. That's a 4-figure trade. But yeah, I would definitely put it right here in my TP for sure. You know, I would break even, make sure to set my SL to break even and all that, you know, just to have my button on flatten, just to make sure that if price were to retrace and start going up into this zone or whatever, this zone or this zone or whatever, you know, I would have the ability to be prepared to just take my trade, take my profit. Bias was right, all that. Anyway, though, I went for a small trade because, I mean, at the end of the day, let me get into that. I showed you guys everything. So we no longer have to look at this. It's the end of the weekend. Damn, 51. We no longer have to look at this. So we're good. We're good. I can move this here now. Switch this here. And then I can do this, yeah. Cool. Okay, so let's just read this down first, and then we'll do a little bit of talking, you know, because it is the first week ending, and we did have a little rough week, so we do have to chat. So anyway, what I did well, stayed patient, trusted the stayed patient, trusted the strategy despite a rough week. Read price action with clarity, recognized 4-hour inverse fair value gap rejection early. I was good on that. Oh my god, today was so good, bro. I'm just happy with today. Like, today was so good. I ended it off the week just so great. I just stuttered, but whatever. Anyway, read price action with clarity, recognized 4-hour inverse fair value gap rejection early, executed with confidence, precision, and discipline. Come on now. Focused on assessment goals over greed. Oh, dude, I can't read my own typing. I can't read my own handwriting, but I can't read my own typing. Focused on assessment goals over greed, chose realistic TP over chasing max profit. So that's why I went for a shorter trade rather than what I would have actually traded on an XFA. Again, we are taking this assessment to make sure we can pass a combine. This whole assessment is to analyze during the process, right? While we're in the assessment, we're trying to analyze ourselves, make sure that we can take on the challenge, take on the evaluation, and pass with like flying colors, so we don't spend more time on it than we need to. It's a $50 subscription a month. It's a $150 activation fee. If you fail that, if you take longer than you need to, dude, you're gonna be paying a lot of money. You're gonna be paying $200. And who knows how long you take. Let's say you take really long. You go past your whole month. Let's say I get the combine today. If I don't pass it within this month at least, what am I doing? I mean, all you have to do is, you know, reach like, I think profit target. I think so. I'm not there yet, so I don't really know, you know, I'm not worried about it. But I think you have to make the target for profit. I think so. Let's say it's just that, right? All you have to do is make that much, right? And if you have to trade on Monday through Friday is what they want, I guess. If that's still true, then do that. You know, that's all you have to do. Now, clearly, I haven't been able to do that, but I'm trying to better myself so that I can get to that point, you know? So today's short trade is not because I was scared or anything. It's just I'm being realistic here. Like, why would I need to go for a bigger profit if it's not going to show up in my damn fucking Top Step X dashboard? Let's be for real. Okay? I knew where it was going to go. Okay, and even if I didn't know where it was going to go, I didn't know it was going to go that low. Okay, for all I knew, it was going to go for where I wanted it to go if it was on an XFA. But I didn't know it was going to go that low. I'll be honest. I'm not going to sit here and be like, dude, it moved 300 ticks. I knew that. Nah, bro. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't know that. But either way, I went for a short trade to be realistic. I'm not going to choose greedy. Okay, I could get like a 3,000 profit, whatever, and then have it look good on my assessment and whatnot. I don't care. Okay, this whole thing is to make sure it looks good, not only with psychology, but also risk management, but also like discipline, all that. It's supposed to look good. The numbers aren't supposed to look good, man. I can make $10,000 and have the worst fucking discipline in the world. That doesn't mean I'm a good trader. What makes me good is my discipline, my control, my self-control, man. The way I can control myself, the way I can reassure myself, the way I can tell myself, look, you're right. If your bias is fucking bullish, it's bullish. If it's fucking bearish, it's bearish. If there's a reason that it's the opposite, then it will show you. The chart will show you and you will notice it. You just have to pay attention. That's what I tell myself. That's all I have to do. So I can make 10,000, 3,000, whatever. I can make whatever number you want me to make. At the end of the day, if I don't have any of the things I just listed, I'm going to be an unprofitable trader. I'm just going to be gambling. I'm just going to be hoping on luck and whatnot. But I have all of those and I'm hyper aware of those things. And that's what makes me so good at it right now. That's why I'm above all of it right now. That's why I was able to go from beginner to advanced beginner right now, just within a month. I mean, who knows where I'm going to be at the end of this month. I'm already prepared. I'm already, like last month, near third to fourth week, I was already mentally preparing myself, emotionally preparing myself, psychologically preparing myself for my first loss of this month. I'm already, and then entering this week, the first day into this month, I've already prepared myself for my first loss, second, third, and fourth, fifth loss, just for this month. That's what makes me different from you. That's not me taking a hit at you. That's not me taking a shot. That's not me talking shit. It's the truth. That's what makes me different from you. That's why I had my first green month on my first attempt. That's why I'm having a good week despite having multiple emotional, mental, and, psychological, like, what's the word here? Problems, I guess. I don't want to use a big word and be all sophisticated, but still, you know what I mean, I moved past it. I made a promise to myself. I even grounded myself from yesterday. I recognized what I was doing. Okay, we're being too delusional. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We're too, excited about being profitable and what it means if we make, all that money and shit. We're getting too ahead of ourselves, worrying about the future. Let that motherfucker KK worry about it. Let him worry about it. I don't give a fuck what he do. If he wants to go buy a damn Rolex, go do it. I'm going to worry about me. I got to make sure that if he wants a Rolex in the future, if he wants a nice car in the future, a penthouse or whatever, if I want him to be able to get that, I got to make sure I can set that up right now. Same with, if you want a bullish bias, if you have a bullish bias, let's say, you got to make sure every single setup from there on is going to give you your validation for entry. Because if you're trying to go bullish, but you're over here, oh man, I can't wait to enter bullish, worrying about being delusional, you're too delusional, you're fantasizing about it, you're going to end up getting distracted and not realize, like, oh shit, I got all my entries and I totally missed it. Damn. Whatever. Sorry for the little rant, but again, that's what makes me different from you. That's what's making me different from you. That's why I was able to do what I do from last month, and that's why I'm able to learn so quick. I got no distractions. The only distractions I have is myself at this moment. That's the truth. And you see how fast I can just get it all done? All I had to do was just tell myself, okay, look, although we won yesterday, we're not a scalper. We're looking for good long trades. Trades that make sense. Trades that make us not only happy financially in the future, but in this moment right now, it has to make us happy mentally. We have to understand why we took that trade. We have to understand, our own confluences. Anyway, so mental clarity, ended week strong, stuck to self-promises, kept emotions in check, continued developing SMT understanding, applied it successfully in real time. What I will improve, I will backtest this weekend for sure. So I will backtest SMT more, breaker structure concepts this weekend to reinforce confidence. And I will be trying out some new things that I have been trying from last month and this week, all during, this weekend during backtesting, like incorporating like 3-minute time frame checks, 15-minute, 30-minute time frame checks and whatnot, and spotting confluences on those said time frames and seeing if I can actually make it work or not. How many times I lose off of it, how many times I'm winning off of it, just how many times I'm right or wrong. And if, it's iffy, then I'm not going to use it. There's no iffy here. If it's iffy, that means it's not working. Because if you know it's working, you'll know it's working. You'll have wins. So if I win, that tells me it's working. If I have a lot of wins using those concepts or whatever I just said in my head, or to you guys, then I'll do that. But if it's not working, then I'm gonna continue, trying to see if it'll work with other ways. But if it doesn't work at all, and I'm iffy about it or whatever, it's in between, then I'm just gonna continue doing what I'm doing and just use it as context, just to see where price action's going and, if there's anything else to look out for. I will be systematizing now, since we are in this September month now and we are advanced beginner. I will be trying to attempt to systematize my strategy now, going from making sure that it's just TGR's free strategy breakdown to making it my own. I'm not going to be a gatekeeper. I'm not going to be an asshole and sit here and be like, start being like very secretive about it. I'm not going to be here like, because it says right here, step 3, look for breaker structure SMT for direction bias. So that tells me if I see one of those, let's say I see a bearish SMT, that tells me, okay, today's bias is bearish. Now I have to look for all the other setups that will tell me I can get my entry, continuation, and all that. So I'm being straight up with the strategy I'm using from TGR, and I'm gonna continue doing that, even if I systematize my own. And you guys will see in real time whether it works or not. You can try on your own and see if it works or not. It's all up to you. I could care less. I'm not gonna sell no courses. I'm not gonna do no promo or whatever. It's just all up to you, man. You just have to go through every single video of mine or whatever and figure it out on your own, because I'm not going to sit here and make a video of, hey guys, welcome back to my strategy, please try it, please, this model will work, I promise you. I don't care if you make it work or not. I don't care if you want to know or not. It's all up to you. So if you really want to put in the work like I did, do what I did. But I promise you, if you don't do the exact same thing I did, if you just watch my videos just to get the strategy or whatever, good luck. Oh man, I'm basically setting y'all up for failure, but I'm also setting y'all up for I don't know yet, but I don't care. I don't give a fuck. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not confirming that it's gonna work for anybody. I'm not confirming that it won't work for anybody. I'm just saying that I'm not gonna hide my strategy and sell courses and whatnot. I could care less. I want to make money off of this, but I also want to be profitable, successful, and I want to be ethical, Although it is ethical to sell courses because it is your knowledge, you did work hard for it, and you did have to teach yourself. Most people have to teach themselves, and whether they have a mentor or not, you end up teaching yourself. But anyway, we'll move on from that. That's for like later. But anyway, what I will improve, refine execution speed and stop loss placement for improved RR without over risking. Stay consistent with patience and trust in bias confirmation. Today shows it pays off. Notes. So let's get into notes. Today's trade was a strong example of mastery in reading structure, confluences, and sentiment. I avoided over trading and didn't let my emotions or frustration from earlier this week affect execution. This trade could have been bigger, but the decision to secure profit and stick to the assessment plan showed real growth and discipline. Confidence is building fast, and I'm starting to rely less on like outside information. This is a milestone day in my trading journey. So I'm happy. I no longer have to, look through TikTok and whatnot. Okay, so he's bearish, but I'm bullish. What does that mean? I no longer have to do that. I might, just in case sometimes, who knows? But we'll get to that level where we're like, I don't give a fuck, But anyway, it's not like I even rely on it for like my bias. Sometimes I'm confused like yesterday, and I just want to see what everybody else is doing. And, things happen. You don't realize there's a bullish SMT during pre-market. You think it's a bearish SMT because your mind is a little fried after not sleeping, only getting 2 hours or 3 hours of sleep. So, you're baked. But, I also had coffee today after like a month, I think, or 3 weeks or something. That was great. That was amazing. I was on it. But yeah, Let me close this. Overall, good week, guys. I so pale right now, but who cares? Well, not an overall good week. We're ending the week off good, and that's what I'm feeling good about, and that's all that matters, you know. I can't sit here and say like I'm gonna count this as a very good week or sit here and count this as a bad week. I can't say any of that, you know. At the end of the month, I'll be able to let ChatGPT do the full, you know, analysis on my this month's assessment, and it'll tell me how good I did and whether I can move on to a combine. I did do the August assessment for the micros, and it did tell me that I was ready for a combine. But again, I didn't take that challenge. I didn't proceed to that because I know I'm not ready. And also because, I mean, this week proves I'm not ready. But also because, I mean, it's only 20 trades. It's only 1 month. If I had actually taken that combine, bought it, and whatever, who knows how this week could have gone. I'm not saying I would have lost. You never know, though. Just seeing, I haven't seen real money move, you know. I'm only seeing like simulation, demo, and whatnot, obviously. And although I am disciplined and hyper aware, of course, you know, all that, whatever. Again, you can see I can get delusional and, you know, fantasize sometimes a little too far. And that can put me off my track. But again, I'm able to pull myself back to reality, and that's all that matters. So by the end of this month, I will have ChatGPT analyze, not only this month actually, I will have ChatGPT analyze again from last month compared to this month and see how I did this month compared to last month, and just basically analyze the full thing, comparing each other, whatnot, comparing itself, you know, whatnot, and just seeing if I'm ready, because we'll be basically hitting the 40th trade at the end of this month, I think, hopefully. We'll be hitting the 40th trade, and that means we're well past the 30th mark. And once we hit our 40th trade and we end this month off, I want to see where I'm at. I want to see if I'm ready or not. And if I'm ready, if ChatGPT says I'm ready and I ask for a reason on why it thinks I'm ready and all that. I ask for an unbiased opinion and all that. If I'm ready, if I feel ready, then I will take on that challenge. I will take on the combine. I will try my best, and I will do what I need to do. But if ChatGPT says I'm ready and I don't feel like I'm ready, I will continue my assessment otherwise. But if ChatGPT says I'm not ready and I feel like I'm ready, if ChatGPT says restart. If ChatGPT says I'm not ready, but I feel like I'm ready, then I will not take the combine and I will continue assessment. Because although, you know, I'm disciplined, yada yada, sometimes even though it's not a real human, sometimes a second opinion is better. And I would much rather go with a second opinion than sit here and tell myself, I'm ready. Let's spend $150 or $200 to fail. No. Nah. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing at the end of this month. I don't know if I mentioned it this week or not. I think I held off on it just to, you know, build a little tension. But, yeah, that's what I'm doing at the end of this month. And I am still expecting my losses no matter what. I'm still expecting my losses. I'm still prepared. Even if I don't lose, then good. If I do lose, then hopefully, again, it's not going to amount to my wins. Because if it does, then that's clearly a problem, and I won't even consider moving towards a combine yet. So, yeah. Anyway, ending the week off good. I don't know what else to say here. I'm trying to think of everything. Yeah, I really need to make sure I stay grounded, because if I keep getting delusional, we're going to fly too close to the sun. And we don't want to be like Icarus. So, man, this month's getting crazy. It's getting crazy for sure, though. This whole week, a lot of pressure, man. So much pressure. I'm not overwhelmed yet. I was definitely overwhelmed maybe on like Wednesday, but yesterday I was just mostly tired and frustrated because of like the way I took that scalp trade. And I don't know why I got so upset. I don't want to be a scalp trader, you know, like I don't know, because I see on TikTok and YouTube that a lot of scalp traders, they be taking like 30 to 50 trades a day. I saw some guy on TikTok take 348 trades in a month. What? I've taken 2 trades in this week. What? I had 20 trading sessions last month, 13 wins. That means 13 trading sessions out of 7 were actual entries. I think I only took like I don't know how many trades I took actually. I'm not gonna say anything there, but this month so far, I've only taken 2 trades. Who is taking 348 trades in a month? And it seems like a lot of people are doing it. Every single like TikToker or YouTuber that pops up on my like recommended or for you page, they're taking like a jackload of trades. Like, why? And guess what? It's not like they're making like let's say like today somebody took like 30 trades. It's not like they're making like 1,000 or so. Because today, if I actually was on an XFA, I would have made my real trade, which would have been like, I don't know. Let's be honest here. You know, realistic, I guess. It would have been 2,000 to 3,000. That's one trade. But these guys are taking 30 trades a day, approximately, roughly, I guess. And it's only like $300, $500, $600. What? Bro? What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Why are you over trading? Why are you scalping the shit out of your mind? I hate the word scalping. You're scraping. You're scraping the bottom of the table for gum. Shouldn't you be eating the big plate? This metaphor is basically me saying, shouldn't you be taking bigger trades for bigger wins? You know, also risk management, but, you know, taking bigger trades for bigger wins, risk management, and totally not taking smaller trades for smaller wins throughout the whole day. Bro, you're basically working a 9 to 5 on the market. Go to Wall Street right now. What are you doing? Go to Wall Street right now. Why are you taking 30 trades a day? Get the fuck off your computer. You don't deserve to have a mouse. You don't deserve to have a keyboard. You don't even deserve to have a monitor or a laptop, whatever you're trading on. Get the fuck off the charts. Some people, I guess, love doing it. Then I guess some people are just doing it just to do it. I have to make $600 today, please. Dude, I know this trade is going to get to 800, please. Oh, I'm just break even. Flatten right here. Yes. Oh my gosh, my 50th trade today. Bro, get off the charts. Anyway, also, when I woke up today around I woke up a little late for work. I'm not gonna lie. I overslept somehow, even though I slept pretty early yesterday. But anywho, earlier when I woke up around 8 to 9 p.m., I watched TGR's video or whatever, and it kind of put me back in my place for sure. I'm glad he posted that, whether it was just to promote his master blueprint or not. It definitely still put me in my place. So, hey, I could care less. It still worked on me. That's fine. It wasn't motivational, you got this. It was more like a reality check. And although I was telling myself hey, let's stay grounded and whatnot, that definitely helped. That video definitely helped. No glaze here. Glad I watched it because I wasn't going to, but I'm glad I watched it either way. Anyway, it's about to be 45 minutes. It's 10:09 a.m. and I'm quite tired. So I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to try to post a backtesting session video this weekend. So most likely, let's see, I do work tonight. So on Sunday, I'll be getting off in the morning on Sunday. So it might be a little tight schedule here if I want to make a backtesting video. if I don't have the time to make a backtesting video and explain the whole process and all that, then I won't post one, but I will still backtest because I will have time to backtest. It's just a matter of if I make a video or not. So don't hold me accountable for it. If there's a video, there's a video. If there isn't, there isn't. But I will do what I will do what I want to do, or what I need to do this weekend, and keep my promises still. So job's not finished. There's nothing to be happy about.